I still read it right?
No, you don't know. You don't know.
Because I was just like, oh, it's him. Oh, it's him. No, oh, wait. I'm like trying to go back on my e-reader to be.
It would just be too easy.
Yeah.
No, you don't know. But I will say this, when you do find out, it will all make sense. Because I'm not the kind, I hate mysteries where you're reading along and you think, oh yeah, I know it. And then right out of nowhere, something pops up and you're like, I did it. You know? No, that is so wrong. You know, so it's not going to be just a random kind of person. It's going to make sense. Like the Walker thing makes sense, hopefully, you know, because that was referenced in Caressed by Ice. So,
What was referenced?
what do you, the Walker thing, do you know what I'm talking about? Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I go in and
No spoiler. Okay.
Yeah, no, that wasn't spoiled, that was like hand gestures.
Yes, I got it.
Oh yeah. So so I don't like that sort of randomness. So and you will find out relatively soon. It's not going to be. I'm not going to draw it out. People are thinking it's going to be book 20 or something. No, it won't. It won't be. You know, I know which
We
book.
all have our suspicions.
I know. Have you guys read Talking About Suspicions? Most of you are online, right? Have you read? Go to dearauthor.com and do a search on Caleb, and you'll find out.
Yes,
Jane's manifesto.
It is a manifesto.
Yes. She went through every single book. It's fantastic. I think it's brilliant. She's a lawyer, so she did like a legal brief, and she pointed out every Caleb reference, and then she said, "This is her evidence for why she thinks he's the ghost, and this is why she's her supposition, for which she doesn't have any evidence." But it's very well laid out and has every single Caleb reference.
Wow.
It's fantastic. It's brilliant. It's awesome.
I'm sorry, I read the book, so I'm just like dying here. Not just because I'm sick, but I'm dying. And my mom's just like, are you going to turn off that light yet? And she's like, just a minute, Mom, just a minute. She's trying to read, but okay. Are we going to hear more about the counselors, the two counselors that are in San Francisco? Are they in any way going to be involved? Or are they going to receive their own book? Not necessarily together or separately or.
Let's just say they're important characters, and they will continue. You will see a lot of them, especially because we're staying with Snow Dancer for the next book, and so we're still in the general region. So things will become clearer.
Less than problems.
That's okay.
At the end of the book, there was someone there that got blasted. Did they get blasted, or did they not get blasted?
I like to leave you in suspense. I think you should find out in the next book.
Okay.
I hope. I know the answer. But you'll find it. There's a lot of stuff I think the next book is gonna kind of make clear, because things are sort of I don't know how to say it. It's kind of busting open now, because with the Laurens and everything that's happened, all the kind of walls are coming down, and so it's a very different world at the start of the next book.
I have to ask.
Mhm.
Do you pronounce it Ilium?
Ilium? Yes. Ilium?
He's
Such a fan favorite.
Yes.
Yeah. It's an interesting thing writing books about characters like Ilium, because he's like Drew, which is he is quite. He does have he's got his angst, but he is quite a well balanced character. He's quite he has joy. He still has the capacity to feel joy, and writing those characters is often more difficult than writing an angsty character, because with the angsty character they're coming back into happiness, and yet Ilium does have this deep sadness as well. So it has to be the right book. It must be the right book. I don't want to write about him just to write about him, because I think that would character and cheat the reader of the story that he should have. So I definitely want to write about him. And I'm starting to kind of get hints of where the story is going to go. But it won't be the next book. You know, I'm pretty certain it won't be the next book. But yeah, he will get a book. But it may be a little bit later than people would like. Just because it's like, you know, I don't want to just throw him with someone. That would just not work.
No,
You know?
he deserves so much more.
Yeah.
What about the young lady who survived the attack
Yeah.
in the first book of Angel's Blood?
Oh, yes, you see her in Dimitri's book. Yes, you'll see quite a lot of her in Dimitri's book. And the thing with Dimitri's book is, I had this story in my head for a while, you know, with Dimitri. What I was saying about Ilium, you know, I had this, it's the right story for Dimitri. And I'm going to warn you, it is very dark. But you know, this is Dimitri. It wasn't all going to be fluffy kittens and rainbows, you know. You'd probably eat the kittens. But so far, you know, people who've read it have said it's true to its character, which is what I wanted. So hopefully, you know, you'll all like it. But at the same time, it is very romantic. It is a very deeply romantic book. I might have teared up.
With Ilium and his mother, there's a sentence in there, it's like you leave it off like, well, what is it?
Yeah, I think that you'll get a lot more of that in Ilium's book because it's part of his history. So obviously right now you're kind of like, you've been a guest at the party and you've kind of seen a glimpse of it, you know, and when you go into a character's book you get to see all of it, you know, you get to know them really well.
I know, but when his mother's there, and it's like, oh, I saw you Sunday or 6 days ago, and I'm just like, oh yes, and it's like, really, it was like 6,000 years ago,
Yeah.
or whatever. And
She's not,
right?
she's not quite in this world, she's been broken, and she's been, it's for a reason that she's like that. So that reason is at the root of the sadness for both Ilium and what's happened to her. So it's quite important in terms of it shaped Ilium as well as his mother.
I keep reading that for thinking I'm going to get something more out of it. I'm like, I'm going to ask that question when I get there. It makes sense.
The thing is, before I do stuff like that, I always know the answer because I think you just end up writing in circles otherwise. Just like with the ghost, before the first appearance, I knew who the ghost was. Otherwise, you'd have all these clues, and at the end, you'd be trying to sort of kind of shove someone into that kind of shape, which doesn't work at all. You know, you must know the answer before you ask the question for a series writer. I actually learned that from watching TV, because the best TV shows have, you know, a series arc in a season. A good example is this first season of Heroes, which had a very strong kind of start to finish, you know. Very nice music.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. So yeah, that's what I try to do with the books as well, because my favorite example is, do you guys remember a show called The Nowhere Man? It was kind of like, there was another show, John Doe, I think.
Oh, I remember
Right?
that.
Okay, those shows kind of just went nowhere, right? I mean, they had this great concept, but it was obvious they hadn't thought of the answer to the question, you know, and so you never found out what happened, really. So I think I didn't want that to happen with the series. I wanted to have the answer so you would get the satisfaction, and hopefully you will, you know. So.
But this isn't a question but more a compliment, and that along these lines, I just have to compliment you. I'm sure other of us have read long series where you feel like somebody's just stretching it out for no reason, and each book just feels like the same story over and over and over again, and you're not really going anywhere. And I just have to compliment you. You've built such a complex world, and as you said, you have this there's the story of the book, but there's this overarching story that keeps you going from book to book, and I just have to compliment you on doing such a great world building job.
The funny thing is, I'm actually quite terrified that I won't know when to stop.
That's fine.
Because I love the world, you know, I love these characters, I love the world, and I'm like, I'm going to get to the end where it should be the end, and I'll just be like, oh, I'll just write one more, and I think, well, I will. I just won't put it out there. And then, it'll be okay. Or I'll put it out there, and the only people who want to read it will read it. But I think it's difficult as a series writer also because you get so involved with these characters, and you get so into the world that the thought of leaving it, it's just like, but I've got to watch Ben grow up, and I've got to know what the twins are doing, and it's so intense. So either you have to, I think when I get to that point, I have to work out a new plan. If I am going to continue the series, it has to be something strong again. It has to have some kind of arc, a different arc to the current one, It's got to be something there rather than just, or you move into a different kind of storytelling, which is you just focus on their lives rather than the political stuff. And I don't know if that would work because the politics and stuff is such a strong part of this series. So that's something, I think about as a series writer, and that's something I'm going to have to deal with, at a certain point in the series. So we shall see.